It is time for Flames Unfiltered, hosted by Brad Burud, Kyle Lewis, talking Flames hockey, the goods and the really bad. Is that fair?
What's good?
Oh,
Andrei Kuzmenko scoring a bunch. That's kind of cool.
oh, I don't know. You know what was good? Saturday night was good, but why do they keep freaking toying with us on Saturday nights?
Oh man,
Do you notice that?
Oh
They
yeah.
toy with me every Saturday night and make me start thinking that we're good.
Well, it's all kind of irrelevant now that we're done. You know, it's funny. We look like, for those people who watch on YouTube, we look like two guys whose hockey team sucks right now.
We look rough. I need a shave.
Yeah.
I look rough. I look like I've been on a 3-day bender.
Well, might be by the time the season's over. But you know what? That said, Brad, I want you to know your feelings are valid.
Well, good.
So it's a coaster that my girlfriend got me in the Philippines, and it really relates to Flames fans everywhere. Whatever you're feeling, if it's a disappointment, anger, profuse sadness, your feelings are valid.
Well, you know what? Last night I X'd, or what is it called now? Tweeted, X'd, I don't know what it is. I said that I promised that our show would be more entertaining than the Ducks Flames game. So the bar is high, real high.
It's already been more entertaining than that, hasn't it? And we're 2 minutes in.
Oh my God.
Yeah. What a shit show.
Last night. I also saw that we're 10,000 days since Calgary won the Stanley Cup.
Man, why are you doubling down on the misery, dude?
Hey, I'm here to brighten people's day.
Oh, terrible. On the plus side,
you want to know? I got one more bad thing.
Oh no.
Jeff Skinner, 1,000 NHL games and 0 playoff games.
Is that a record?
I fucking hope so, because that's bad.
Well, Bomeister would have been close, wouldn't he have?
I don't know.
I don't think he got 1,000 though.
I mean, I heard that last night and I was like, oh my. I don't know.
Oh man, this has been talked about a lot actually.
No.
One of the guesses was Kyle Okposo. That's a very fair guess. Oh man.
Bomeister has 75, so that's making this record look even more chilling.
75
playoff games.
Oh yeah, but how long until he finally played in one?
Oh.
He never made it with the Flames or the Panthers.
Oh gosh, Kyle, you're gonna make me pull my freaking calculator out. Okay, let me do this here. As we speak, we're gonna figure this one out on the fly.
Oh, there's a lot of former Flames on this list.
You're just totally trying to.
Oh man. Jamie Allison, Joel Bouchard, Guy Charon, Brian McGrattan, Josh Levo, Steve McCarthy, Ed Ward, Rico Fata.
He played 756 before leaving the Flames and making the playoffs with the Blues.
Oh man, this conversation is giving me the blues.
Well,
that is depressing.
Yeah.
Well, on the plus side, it's WrestleMania season, so I'm drinking coffee from my NWO mug. So you know what I'm doing this weekend?
I'm not a wrestling guy, so what am I doing?
Watching a ton of wrestling and maybe becoming single again.
What?
I told her, you don't have to love professional wrestling, but for God's sakes, you can't hate it.
My wife puts up with way more hockey than she should. And now
she puts up with more Brad than she should.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. She's been patient.
To say the very least. Hey, how'd it go last weekend? emceeing, or did you do? You did color on that game?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did both Friday and Saturday night. It was kind of weird because I hadn't done it since the 2017-18 season. Friday night I was a little rusty. I worked into it, and Saturday night went good. And yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
Oh, good for you, man. That's awesome. I'm so glad you get to do that. It's really cool.
Yeah, it was fun.
So we're gonna get the misery out of the way. So currently, the Moncton Wildcats are playing what could be their last playoff game. They're looking like they may be swept, and they will be swept if they don't win tonight. So Flames Tim Morin might be going home early, which was
Not good.
No, I was really hoping to get to a home, another home playoff game, but it's not looking too promising right now. But you had expressed to me in a text some, how would I put that? Derision with the play of some younger Flames players. I would like to throw it over to you to talk about that.
Okay, here's what I meant by that. And you got to preface it was I was frustrated.
Also, I have a friend I text with. We always have like a word of the day, and the word of the day today is derision. I'm going to text that to her before I forget.
Is what?
Derision.
What the hell is that?
We're going to make this a thing on the podcast now, too. It fits the theme. Derision. Contemptuous ridicule or mockery. Okay. Example, my stories were greeted with derision and disbelief. That's also true. Okay. Anyway, lay some thoughts on me, Brad. What's going through your mind?
We got 9 games left, right?
I didn't even know that. I was actually going to ask you because I haven't even paying attention to how many games are left at this point.
Well, I better double check here because I'm pretty sure it's 9. 9 miserable nights. Yeah, last night pushed me over the edge. The Anaheim game, it was a frustrating one. I don't know what you thought.
I was unhappy.
And here's why I messaged you that, and I questioned some of our younger players. No, is it 82 games? We have 8 games left. Thank God, 1 less. All right.
It was a doozy.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the deal. We wanted to inject youth, and we've done that. We have a lot of youth on our team. A lot. Probably more than
we've had since the Young Guns era,
and probably more than we really even want. I don't know.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, sure. I'll allow it.
That's probably arguable, but we'll argue that at a different
podcast. Everything's arguable.
But when I hear the term spirited effort, lack of intensity,
Blech.
the want, common used after a game full of young players, that leads me to believe we're fucked.
Lack of want.
Right?
Oh, man, that was a murderer's row of awful terminology. Okay. Well, I don't disagree with that, and I think a lot of that has to fall in the leadership group of this team. And like I talked in the last show, though, it's hard not to be like kind of down and out. And I know they're pros and make a lot of money, but it's like,
no, I will support your comment. But then what the hell did I see on Saturday night?
Tease.
I think that's what frustrates me more. If you guys are going to throw in the towel, throw in the fucking towel. But if you're going to trick me and think we're moving in the right direction Saturday night, and then Tuesday night followed up with the biggest stinker I've seen in 15 years.
Just laying an egg.
Yeah. That's where I get a little frustrated, right? And I think why is
that a bad thing? Why is it a bad thing to lay an egg?
Well, you're going to lay eggs. Every team does. Even the good teams do.
No, but what's it mean? To like, why is the phrase laying an egg? Isn't that weird? Because if I got chickens and they lay eggs, I'm a happy dude.
Yeah. How about this? You dumped a pile of shit.
Well, that's almost like too flagrant. You know, there's going to be some mystery and intrigue in these miserable sayings. Anyway, yeah, but I get it. Like, I think a lot of it has to do with like our defense getting absolutely gutted.
It does. But you know what? Like, and I talked about this last week on the show, and I promise I'm not throwing stones for the whole 45 minutes. Just give me 10 more.
May not even make it 45 minutes the way things are going.
Uyghur and Anderson, I'm sorry. They just haven't been good. And what I expected us to get shelled defensively, you know?
Yeah.
But I kind of expected those two to take a step. And I know people will tell me, hey, Uyghur's just lighting it up. He has offensively. And you know what? I've actually, and if I had to give letter grades, which we are going to do on the podcast here in the coming weeks, I would mark him down for a really good season. I would. But last night there was multiple times he looked like a freaking pylon that didn't even care in front of the net. Like he's not. I'm like, what is going on? And Anderson's been shaky, and it's like, this is your time, guys. Grab this top four and just, I mean, do what you can with what you got. I don't expect miracles back there because, quite honestly, we're playing with 3.5 NHL defensemen right now.
Yeah, that's basically it. I mean, especially after like Saturday night's, pretty big win. I mean, not that there's any big wins after you miss the playoffs, and Anderson went all like philosophical and had some really interesting things to say post game. I don't know. I mean, I think it's maybe unreasonable or hopeful to expect any sort of consistency of effort given the players they've lost, their position in the standings and all that. So I'm kind of like taking a knee and running out the clock here. I'm not going to sit there and dissect games other than to try and enjoy, what good we're seeing from some of the younger players like Pospisil and Zary. We keep talking about Pahal. I think we've been generally pretty happy with.
I have been generally pretty happy.
I mean, the veteran, I don't want to give the veteran guys a pass because they're setting an example for the younger players. But I think everybody's just like, fuck,
So let me ask you this question. We were told by our coach about game 12, Mark, that the final 12 games were going to be our evaluations so we know what we have going into next year, which I agree with.
Yeah.
But if we're got a team that's thrown in the towel, how do we do that?
The recording didn't stop. It didn't freeze. I don't know how to answer that.
I mean, how do we evaluate players if we're not getting a full effort? And I shouldn't say that we're not getting a full effort because there is moments of full effort. I feel like there is mental lapses that cause goals frequently.
Well, it's kind of been the case all season though, too, right?
And I guess here's what really pissed me off last night is we're playing a team that threw in the towel in November.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. What are the Calgary's like 2-6 or 2-7 now against these awful Ducks, Blackhawks, Blue Jackets. Like,
I'm sorry, Kyle, 12 months ago, we sat here and said it was Daryl Sutter's fault.
Yeah. You know what? Bad results. They're not mutually exclusive, right? Like I don't know. I do think Daryl Sutter, okay. All right.
I don't think he helped the problem.
Well, he made it. He never ever would have. He would have trotted out Trevor Lewis till Lewis was a corpse. Like he did nothing with young players, and that drove me nuts. And for that, he had to be moved.
Outside of that, I don't really have any complaints because, quite honestly, I don't know if having a Daryl Sutter right now to kick some of these guys in the ass wouldn't be a bad thing.
I don't think it would change anything because I don't think they're going to listen to him. That's part of the reason he's gone, right? As he got older, and it's been talked about in different circles that he's got some possibly some issues, so to speak, in terms of how he conducts himself. And I'm not going to get too much on that because I can't confirm or deny any of that. It's just that he kind of aged out as a coach, I guess.
Yeah,
and that's why I was so happy to see him at the Kiprusoff retirement ceremony because he deserved to be there, and he's a legend in Calgary. And I mean, even just going to the second round and losing Edmonton 22, I mean, Sutter was behind that too. Like, we owe the guy a lot, but like I said before, it's like we're fondly remembering good times of an old relationship. It's like, you moved on for a reason.
How long does Huska get a pass?
Oh, that's a great question.
2 years? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not a fire coach, and I'm not.
And we do too much of that. We fire way too many coaches, right?
For sure.
So, but I think now that some guys have some guys have been traded now, right?
Yeah. Now next year's a rebuilding year.
Well, yeah, rebuild, retool, call it whatever you want. But I mean, it's more so his team at that point. He gave Pospisil and Zary and Pahal ice time. And I mean, a litany of others who haven't necessarily stuck around. Peltier went down to the Wranglers, which I think was a good move. I mean, and now with these other guys like Tanev and Hanifin and Lindholm being gone, like, he kind of put this is becoming more and more the team he's coaching, right? He didn't inherit a bunch of stuff. Or he did, but a lot of it's moved on.
How many players were at the end of the last year's roster that are on the team this year? 1, 2, 3, 4. 5.
Did you look at the list from the last playoff game they played?
7. No, I did. Don't even get me going.
I think it's 4 guys, 5 maybe.
We have 8 guys on last year's end of the season roster that are playing today.
And I think that's great because they weren't getting it done.
Hey, I'm with you. We needed to make some changes. We did.
It just all it means now is just make it more exciting.
We were forced. I mean, we had all these pending UFAs, and if we didn't do something with them, then we were screwed, right? So we had to do something, and I think we got a fair return. I really do. Yep. I don't know. I'm one of those fans. It's like I'm fine with the youth, but we can't have all youth because like Buffalo did that and they suck. Ottawa did that and they suck. Like we have to have a mix of guys, right? Like LA, for example. Let me just use them as an example. They had their veterans and they infused youth guys, and they didn't look so young, but they were in areas, and then all of a sudden they move on, right? So I worry a little bit about that, and honestly, I wouldn't mind in the offseason if we sprinkled in a few.
Well, I think that's the plan. I
hope so. Because I like a lot of the youth. I do. I really do.
Yeah. But, it's a different direction. It's refreshing, and that's the kind of stuff I'm trying to focus on. Like I'm excited about the draft. I mean, even though they're going to win themselves into a middling pick again, they draft well in the later rounds typically. So there's lots to look forward to. In the summertime, it'll be interesting that they get some cap space, obviously. And I think a lot of guys are going to go into training camp seeing the spots that are like Connor Zary, barring a sophomore slump, could be like a 60-point player next year, right? Like there's lots and lots of opportunity that wasn't previously there. So I don't know. I'm just trying to be optimistic about the future and trying not to dwell too much in the present because the present really sucks.
Did you listen to After Hours on Saturday night?
No.
So they talked to Huberdeau and it was he just talked about finding his way in Calgary and, just the changes and whatever. It was pretty canned, but not bad. And then they talked to Zary. He was hilarious. He talked about maybe changing his number next year from 47. I knew I wanted to throw that in.
That t-shirt, man.
Dude, you might have to get some Sharpie out because it's
Sam Bennett did the same thing to me. I had a 63 Sam Bennett shirt and he changed to 93, which I love. I'm like, dude, I just bought your shirt. Like, what are you doing?
There you go. And then you know what? Here's another part that he didn't say this on After Hours, but I saw it on TikTok. And he was talking about being a Taylor Swift fan. So I had to show my daughter. Nice. And now my daughter's favorite player is crazy.
What? Okay, so let's have some fun with this. What number should Zary wear?
What?
19.
Okay.
You were thinking I was going to say 13, weren't you?
I thought you were going to say 13 or 14.
Yeah. Oh, no, 14. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen.
Okay, so if it's not going to happen, let's put in the rafters, right?
Oh, he wore 18 in Kootenay.
AJ Greer, take a hike.
Well, I think he might be taking a hike anyway, but
I think so too. I don't know what other no.
I like the unique higher numbers. I love having a 96 and a 94. And
do you really? I'm old school.
Yeah, okay, there, Brian Burke.
You know what I would do is I look like Brian Burke today. I got the whiskers going. You know what? 50.
No, you're missing the tie.
Get rid of Dryden Hunt.
Yeah, it's done. Yeah,
I like that number. I like 15.
Yeah, it's a cool one. Blair Betts, Nigel Dawes, Chris Simon. Who else wore 15? This is a dangerous drinking game.
Jeez, I don't know. I should save that on my stream deck.
Isn't it impressive how many I just listed right off the top of my head?
It's slightly scary.
A little bit pathetic. I agree.
It is a little scary, but I like it. I mean, you are my only friend that knows all those things. I mean, that's something to be too proud of, but
no, it's really not.
Okay, so let's switch gears here. You need to get me into a better mood about this because I don't want to be.
Why does that fall to me? That sounds like a big responsibility.
Well, my wife doesn't do that, so like I am gonna need you to help me here. Like, I'm trying.
I almost spit coffee all over my laptop. Thank you.
I'm trying not to be a dickhead about this, but I'm struggling, man.
Okay. What do you need? Hit me up. What can I do to help you?
How can I feel a little more comfortable with some of our younger players? Like, for example, I'm still very mixed about Kuzmenko. I know he's not one of our younger players, but kind of is in a way. I am very mixed on what I feel. Like, I think he has extremely high upside offensively, but I'm not sure I like some of his habits. Is that fair?
Yeah, I mean, it's about proper deployment too. I'll throw this at you. This might make you feel better, and it's not from me. It's from Kent Wilson. But Kent had said last night that Kuzmenko was giving off some Huselius vibes.
I was a big Huselius fan.
No, that's I'm throwing it at you. And if you watch the way he plays, it's pretty similar. He's very exciting. Very exciting. Beautiful goal last week.
I wish we could get him excited every night.
Well, based on your last comment, your wife might be thinking the same thing. Does she ever listen to this? Because after that comment, I hope she does.
She does. She listens. Do you think my wife is like, hey, I better pull up the latest Flames Unfiltered podcast? Listen to my. She listens to me enough. No, she doesn't listen to this.
She doesn't listen to me enough, though.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I love the guy's skill. I really, really do. And it's so hard to. I mean, it's so hard to build a hockey team without some of that, right?
So where are you at on? I'll just run through some of the younger players so I can see where you're at, and you can maybe get me feeling better.
Okay.
Where are you at on Pospisil?
Got to reel it in a little bit, but generally, I love what I see. And the record with him in the lineup is they'd be a playoff team.
He has reeled it in. I think he's been real. Good.
He is, but I mean, it's only been a few games, really since his last shenanigans. So
we want the edge, right? We screamed for Matthew Tkachuk to give us that.
Yeah, well, and he did a great deal of the time. It's just
we got the puck flipped at him.
Oh, going in the next season is more what I'm thinking. Like, what are the lessons from the season on the whole, not just of late? So
yeah, no, I would agree with you.
I love the way he plays. I do worry about his concussion past, but
I do too. Every time he gets hit, I shudder a little bit. Connor Zary, where are we at?
He's maybe my favorite Flame right now.
He's been real good. I don't think he's been as good since he was injured just recently, but he's been good.
Yeah, I mean, coming back from an injury is more of a process than a lot of people, I think, realize or, really wrap their heads around. So, the sky's the limit for him next year. I mean, people say, oh, he's not going to be a superstar. I think he's going to be a 60, 70-point player, I think. He's so smart. He's so fucking smart, and that's what makes him such a good hockey player.
You know what I love about him? He's so patient with the puck.
Yeah, that's what I mean. His hockey sense, his hockey IQ, all those cliches. Like he's just a great player. I just hope he stays 47, but I know he won't. Anyway,
he might. I'll send a message. Yeah.
I mean, who else has worn 47 that ever mattered in this league? Alexander Radulov.
Did he matter?
For a time, yeah.
Okay.
Any others?
I can't think of any. I'm not a number guy like you.
Sven Berchi for 5 games.
Oh my God. Do you know that I have a 16 by 20 photo of him wearing a 47?
Is it on your nightstand?
No. 16 by 20 picture on my nightstand?
Oh, I glossed over that. That's huge. Wow.
I bought, oh my God.
Did you acquire that when we all thought he was going to be a big deal?
Yeah.
Oh, you bought it during that 5-game score, like 3-goal streak.
Oh,
that's what you did.
Leave me alone.
Oh, you bought high
this week.
You bought high and the stock plummeted. Anyway,
I couldn't sell it on eBay for 49 cents right now. Maybe his mom would buy it.
Oh, you could, because I'd buy it.
Well, I might just send it to you.
Oh, amazing. Let me throw a few at you.
Okay.
Miramanov. What's your feeling on him? My boy, my former Moncton Wildcat.
I think he's a working project. I think he's pretty good offensively. I think he sucks defensively. Work in progress.
It's not unfair. His first time he's really good opportunity at this level too. So I'm curious. I want to be patient with him.
Not getting a lot of help either. So yeah.
Pahal.
I loved him, man. The first 20 games, I freaking loved the guy. Lately, he's struggled a little bit. I think it's been because of the guys we've lost. I think this guy will be fine. I think he's a bottom 2 defenseman for us. And
but as good as any you're going to find, I would say.
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah. Who else? We'll get into player, like as you said, we'll do player grades another time once we cap off this sinking ship of a season. Well, Dustin Wolf.
God,
I can hear you swearing.
To get me crucified.
No, just it doesn't. It's not indicative of where he's been or where he'll be. Just how do you feel right now about him?
I think that he needs a whole lot more leash to go, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if I had to put odds on him being our goalie of our future, I would put it at 40%.
That's not that bad. Goalies are so fickle. That's not that bad.
No, I know, but if you ask the fan base that question, they would say 85.
So, I'm so glad you said that word because this is what I want to know because I don't exist in other fan bases. So let's jump to this. Does any other fan base constantly refer to themselves as fan base or talk about the fan base like they're the other? It's like, oh God, this fan base and our fan base. Like it's constant.
We're all goofy, man.
And we're all complaining about the same shit.
I know, but you know what? This is what fans do. I just don't want to be as bad as Vancouver.
Are they bad?
Their fan base is ridiculous.
They can't be worse than Toronto.
Oh, they're worse.
Really?
Everybody is out to get Vancouver. They get screwed every night by the officials.
See, this is how I know that you live further west and I live further east.
Vancouver's fan base is the absolute worst I've ever seen.
Well, that's what I thought during the Stanley Cup riot.
And you know, and sometimes I'm hard on the Calgary Flames fan base that I'm a part of, right? I'm hard on it because it's like, ooh, that's getting to be Vancouverish. Let's not go down that road, you guys.
Ooh. Right? Hey, I saw a rack of John Tavares Leafs jerseys on clearance at Sport Check the other day, and I sent it to a buddy of mine in Halifax. I'm like, hey, do you need rags for your garage? Yeah, I thought it was clever.
I don't know. You need to follow a few Vancouver people on X.
Sounds to me like I don't need to follow them, but noted.
No, it's ugly. It's ugly.
Anyway.
Let's talk something good here real quick. Two things
real quick and back to the misery.
No. I got two things good here.
Two? Nice.
I've got three. Three things good.
That was a good whistle. Lay it on me.
Wranglers clinch a playoff spot, which means Coronado, Peltier, Wolf, am I forgetting? Are all going to get to play playoff time.
Would Miramanov as well?
No, I don't believe so.
Oh shit. Anyway, that's okay though.
Don't believe.
They're getting major reinforcements.
Okay, but what that is good for is playoff hockey is different than regular hockey. This is going to be a good experience for him. And Cole Schwindt, I'm still not. I think that guy's got a future. So that's
Love
good
to hear it. Yep. So that's one of three, or was that 3 and 1?
No, that's one of three.
Okay, excellent.
Number 2, I'm thinking Coleman's going to get his 30th pretty soon here, and some people might argue, but I think he's the perfect man, along with Backlund. I'm going to give him to get this team mentally through a rebuild.
No, yeah, well, hope so.
Call it what you want. I think those two guys are calming factors, and I think both of their play speaks for itself.
Blake Coleman is the consummate Calgary Flame. Like he reps that team to me as much as Backlund does.
I would agree.
And individual things. Coleman's likely going to hit 30. Sharangovich is going to hit 30. And that's pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Uyghur could hit 20.
That's cool too. Hopefully it's 5.
Kadri had a good year statistically.
Emma, real quick, I gotta interrupt. Did you listen to the radio last night after the game?
No.
Megan Mickelson was giving her number 1 star, I think it was, or number 2 star, one of the stars to Uyghur, and then she noticed at the same time as Derek Wells that you probably won't want to do that to the guy that get 5 giveaways. It's like, yeah.
Well, it's the same thing as Carlson winning the Norris. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, and I've been tough on Uyghur tonight, and I really do like him. I mean, he's an integral part of the future of this team. I just think
100%.
that the last couple of weeks have been not so good. And my last couple of weeks, I haven't been that good. So
a lot going on, man. A lot going on.
Okay, third thing here, and then I'll let you brighten my day. Power play versus Kings the other night looked really, really good.
Yes, it did.
Is this something that over time is going to move in a positive direction, or is it going to be something that's going to cost Savard his job?
I think with the personnel changes, he's going to get a bit of leash for next season because it has been much better.
I agree.
With Kuzmenko in particular. Huberdeau is way better since January 1st.
He's been really good.
Yeah.
Like he has been.
Well, he's like a 63-point pace over a full season since the turn of the new year. Yeah, I think he deserves a bit more time. I mean, that power play really sunk them this year. But he's proven he can run a power play very effectively in the past. I think, and Miramano's been good on the power play too. So yeah, that's a definite positive. Yeah, they had at least one power play goal last night too. Was it 2 or 1? I can't remember. It doesn't matter.
You want to get your blood pressure up?
I'm not sure how to answer that. I mean, preferably not. But
what did you think of that disallowed goal for the high sticking?
The
Blues guy touched it. He high sticked it, and we knocked it in. Like,
yeah.
You know what? Here's what pisses me off about that. It's non-reviewable, right? But if the referee calls it a goal, then it's reviewable. So just freaking call it a goal and review it.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Just so much hypocrisy in this league. It's exhausting.
That was a tough night for the Flames. I thought they looked pretty decent, and then they get the offside disallow, and it's just the hockey gods weren't working their way that night. And then they came back Saturday night and looked great. So I thought, this is fun to watch again. And then I sat down last night with a cold Coca-Cola to watch the game, and I was like, I need to put some whiskey in.
What if Coke's going to sponsor us?
They should. I drink enough.
Get me back onto it too. Well, I didn't even feel like you were reaching that hard for positives. So that in itself was a positive.
You want me to keep going with positives, or you want me to drag this thing into the real shitter?
No, I think we've had enough shittiness, generally speaking. But it's nice when it's like there's a positive thing on the shelf right next to you and not like in the other room, like locked in a safe,
I got it. I got to throw it on the X Factor though right now because it is slightly comical based on our conversation tonight. I don't know. Let's see what you think. This one comes from YycFlamesFan. I miss Johnny, Matthew, and Daryl. If we just signed Matthew to a long-term deal, we would have won the cup.
Could have.
And you know what? I love this just because every one of us as hockey fans catches ourselves thinking like irrational, crazy thoughts. And so much has changed that not one player leaving or coming affects all this. But the thought that just having Matthew is going to be equal to Stanley Cup is slightly...
Well, how would the Oilers be if they didn't have Connor McDavid?
Losing like they are gonna this year in the playoffs?
That's what I would think. So, I mean, there are certain players that can reverse your fortunes that much. They're just so few and far between. But
you know what? The Oilers are in trouble without Connor McDavid. Like they're not. They're a mediocre team, right? But I cannot put Matthew Tkachuk with Connor McDavid.
No. But still, like, had they done that, maybe Gaudreau stays and not because of it, but because everything is a parallel universe. Everything goes in a different direction, right?
Have you ever thought, and by the way, thank you, YycFlamesFan, but have you ever thought this? If Sam Bennett doesn't leave, and you have the way he's playing now, on the, just hear me out here.
I don't want to.
And then Tkachuk says he's staying, then maybe Gaudreau stays, and then I'm as crazy as YycFlamesFan because then we win the cup, right? Okay. I like the tweet. I just did.
Well, that was like the negativity, and then that as the X factor. It was kind of like The Simpsons when Homer's dressed up as Krusty the Clown. He's beating up the hamburger because he thinks he's actually stealing hamburgers. And the kids are crying like, "Stop! He's already dead." That you using that as the X factor. That's exactly what that was.
I beat the horse today.
Yes. Yeah.
So you need to talk positive now. You're in charge of the positive.
Oh Lord. I feel like I'm like this at work too. Okay, again, we've talked about this a few times, and I want to again beat another dead horse, but we're gonna have a whole ranch of dead horses the way we're going. I just pictured that as very
ranch of dead horses. You can get a T-shirt.
It's like the set of Yellowstone after a Holocaust. So just the general direction of things, the general vibe, the understanding that we're doing the right things is what kind of pulls me through. I also suggest watching happier time videos, like, you know, Gaudreau's playoff performances, like from 15 and 22 and like the 04 play. Like, you gotta remind yourself why you love this team, because it's when you're stuck in the middle like this, you got some big contracts and younger players that are underperforming or aren't quite where you want them to be yet. It's tough, but like it's so much better than, like, how do I say this? Okay, instantaneously, it really sucks, because even when you squeak into the playoffs, like, oh, there's a chance, even though God knows there's not a chance. Just making it, you think you have a chance, right? That's the first time I've ever shaken my fist on this podcast.
So would watching the Buffalo Sabres help me?
How the hell would that help you? Because it's worse?
It's like, well, I don't think they were that bad yet.
Oh, yeah. Weren't they like, I was really stoked for them, like, sneak into the playoffs, and then
me too.
They went ice cold, and Washington's like, hey, we're going to be a decent hockey team again.
Now Pittsburgh's 3 back. Believe that one.
But Pittsburgh can just fucker it off. Like, oh, man. Look at that. The Islanders are still right there. Man, the East is lit. Like, what was I talking about? What's the point of this? Oh, the Sabres. 5 points. Yeah, they're screwed. Everybody has a game in hand on them too, and they're 5 points out. Like, good night.
Speaking of fucker it off, do you think the playoffs should be expanded from 16 to 18 or 20 teams?
No.
Okay, good. I want to make sure we're on the same page.
Why make it easier to scroll? I mean, those of us that are middle-aged, it's going to be like, hey, like, we made the playoffs. Like, yeah, but last year you wouldn't have. You guys still suck. Like,
well, I'm sorry. After watching the game last night, it's like I sure as hell don't want to watch playoff hockey of this.
You know what I want to watch, and I am gonna watch?
Love is Blind.
Yeah, my guy. I wasn't even say that.
I gotta confess, I'm 7 episodes in.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
Oh man,
my confession of the week.
So, Sam at work today was telling me, because I asked him, I said, didn't you tell me like season 3 was like there's some crazy shit that happens? And he had to think, and he looked up a few of the characters because he couldn't remember. He's like, oh yeah. He's like, I forget what he said. You're going to be like, he said there's a lot of cringeworthy moments. I'm like, oh, hook it to my veins, baby. I can't wait. But no,
I don't think I watched that. What am I watching? I'm watching the new one.
What do you want, like season 5, whatever the newest one is?
Yeah, I think so.
Skip
right ahead.
Well, the nice thing is you go back, watch the seasons. It doesn't have anything to do with when you're watching.
And it doesn't matter. But I'm watching the new one, because I thought you were watching the new one.
No.
You're not watching the new one?
I will. Give me a solid week to get some more seasons under my belt. Maybe quit my job and stay home and watch crappy TV. And yeah.
You're going to like this season. It's good.
Oh, man. It's going to be the Love is Blind podcast. I'm sure that exists. That exists.
I can't believe I'm watching it. I'm watching it. My wife says to me, what do you watch? I'm like, I don't know. Kyle's making me watch.
What, you wouldn't even watch it with your wife? You watched it on your own?
Yeah. She doesn't watch TV with me.
This didn't make sense, Brad, but based on that, you were so much more of a man than I am.
Oh, shit. Well, I have.
How'd she react?
She thinks I'm nuts.
Well,
she didn't even, it doesn't faze her. She thinks I'm crazy.
I
blamed it on you. No, I blamed it on you.
The random Canadian stranger she's never met.
Guess this is this thing in Moncton. I don't know. I just said, I gotta watch it.
Oh man. So what I was trying to say before you, instead of me, brought up Love is Blind, which that's not even my birthday. This is great. Winnipeg, Colorado playoffs.
I like that.
Yeah, I'm here for that big time.
There's a lot I'm liking about the playoff scenarios right now, to be honest.
Edmonton, Vegas.
I want to see
Oh.
Vancouver lose because they're chucking away right now. Those bad boys got to go play Arizona tonight on a back-to-back with a third-string goalie.
Oof.
I
So
hope they get-
Dallas would get LA. It looks like, if Vancouver would get Nashville.
Yeah, good luck with Nashville, huh?
Oof, I wouldn't want that matchup. Yeah, it's good. This is going to be fun. And even in the East, I mean, not that we talk a lot about the East down here, apart from our things we don't like.
Florida, Toronto, how fun's that going to be?
It's nice to see that matchup again, especially right after Carolina, Philly. If Philly, they're hanging on by a thread.
They're hanging on, barely.
Yeah, with their Andre the Giant goaltender.
They're 2-5-3 in their last 10.
Oh, yeah. I mean, how? Like, all right, okay. Let me throw this one at you.
Swinging his fist again.
That was almost like a Ronnie James Dio, like devil horns. So, if we were to be in a position like the Flyers and fall out of the playoffs with less than 10 games remaining, would that not be worse, I ask you, than the situation we're currently in, where you just know you're not going to make it?
No, because I would be excited for the next 10 games, not dreading them.
For fuck's damn it.
I'm not counselable, am I?
No. Why do I feel like several professionals have told you the same thing?
It costs big money to fix me.
Oh, yeah. Well, I've spent lots of money trying to fix me, and so far gone, I'm almost there.
So, are you excited Thursday night to watch the 34-34-5 Flames take on the Jets?
No.
Well,
I'm going to play hockey. I'm going to play hockey, watch Love is Blind, and might put that on my phone as a secondary viewing source.
Well, you have to know what happened because we got to talk about it.
Oh, I'll definitely. I always watch it, like, at least, especially if I fall asleep. At least watch the condensed game and all that stuff.
We have to, because we have to know what we're talking about. Like, it's hard to call out players and think know
and you want to see the progression of the young players, and I want to see Wolf have a few more games and hopefully play well.
Me too.
Although part of me also feels like just send him out to the Wranglers and call up another goaltender for this playoff run.
So let me ask you this question. So Markstrom played last night against the Ducks. Was okay, I guess. I don't know. Okay is the right term, I think.
Light.
Then now tomorrow night when we play Winnipeg, who do you start in net?
Wolf.
Okay, well, here's the bigger question. Saturday night, the old Oilers come to town for Hockey Night in Canada. Who do you play?
Wolf.
You still don't put Markstrom in. He hasn't played since a Heritage game.
I think you have to have a long talk with Markstrom to say, listen, you want to see what we have in this kid. You're still, our starter, our free, but let's start to wind this thing down. We'll get him a couple big starts before he goes down for a playoff run, really test him out, and then, throw it back to you and reevaluate in the summer.
Yeah.
And for God's sakes, don't tell anybody so it doesn't wind up in social media again.
Oh, God. I think that I would put Wolf in on Saturday night also.
Yeah.
And then Tuesday, Calgary heads to San Jose, goes on I believe a 3-game California roadie.
Yeah. Yeah, we're winding her down. I'm excited to see the Jets play though too, because they're my playoff team this year.
I'm cheering for them.
Yep. I love you. I know you love Adam Lowry, and so do I.
Yep.
And his father captained the Flames. There's a reason. Monahan at the Foley. There's another reason. I love Connor. What's that?
I like Hellebuck.
Yeah, fantastic goaltender. Yeah. Arguably the best in the world right now.
Yeah. What are your parting thoughts? We need positivity as we head. Because
hey, you know what, man? Like, we've started the healing process. It can only get better.
You want to know a positive? You know what I found out today? May 11th, Tesla's coming to town.
Oh, that's so soon.
Is that positive for you?
Yeah, I have a Tesla t-shirt, man. We're like, oh, that doesn't look like the car logo. No, it's the band, you idiot. It's way cooler than the car.
Yeah, it actually.
And I have been actively petitioning Spotify Canada for the past 2.5 years because Tesla's The Great Radio Controversy is not on Canadian Spotify, and it's, in my opinion, their best album.
It's not?
Nope. Goes right from Mechanical Resonance to 5-Man Acoustical Jam and into Psychotic Supper. Not cool. I'm pretty sure it's on in the US though.
I'm looking. Oh, I gotta spell Tesla right.
That might help. Are you sure it's Tesla you're going to see, not Sla?
Well, the way things have been lately, tough
No.
to- I can't even get it to come up.
Do they still exist? Is Spotify booted you out?
Oh my gosh. I think I am.
And the worst of it is they don't even answer me.
It says error. Try again. That sums up my life right there.
Wow. Yeah.
Come on, I pay for this. Like, come on. Like,
Yeah, I had to actually. It's funny you say that. It sounds like your life. A customer texted me earlier. He's like, "Are you in the office?" I said, "No, I'll be there in 5." And he said, "That's okay. I don't need you anymore." I said, "Yeah, that's what my last girlfriend told me too."
Oh, hey, I think we got action here. Oh crap! It says no results. I know it's on here. I listened to it on here. God.
You can text me after. Nope. None of our listeners care about Tesla.
They don't care. None of them care. They don't even. Yeah, if they're listening still, they're crazy.
Yeah.
So, all right, we're moving on.
You're going to see Tesla. So there's the positive news.
There's the positive news. Calgary, Winnipeg on Thursday. Edmonton, Calgary at home Saturday, and then back on the road, Calgary at San Jose Tuesday. We're going to have things to talk about next week. And hopefully we're not talking about bad efforts.
Yeah.
Right? Let's talk about good. Be professionals. We got 8 games to go here, Flames. Come on, show us what you are so we know what we have next year.
Even going into the summer, clarity would be nice.
It would. We are back again next week. Flames fans, have a good week. Stay positive. I struggled this week. Kyle keeps it positive. So we got him along for this.
We're all strong.
All right.
But again, remember, whatever you're feeling, your feelings are valid. And I'll leave you with that.
Have a good week, Flames fans.
Thanks for listening to Flames Unfiltered with Brad Burud and Kyle Lewis, your source for unfiltered Calgary Flames hockey talk. Keep it locked on flamesunfiltered.ca. Subscribe where you get all your podcasts to never miss an episode. Flames hockey talk every week, presented by Inside Edge Hockey Media Group.